Welcome to TERRA at Home with your host, Chris Moretti.
Good morning and welcome to TERRA at Home. Spring has definitely arrived, and with a new season come new flavors and new ways to dress up the home inside and out. On today's show, a little bit later, we'll visit with Clive Hall from 100 Mile Home to find out some great trends in indoor furnishings. But first, I'm here with Rob MacGregor from Anything Goes. Rob, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure, Chris.
So Rob, your company is called Anything Goes, and you are a certified sommelier. Can you tell us a bit about what you do?
Sure. Well, the role of sommelier is more than just serving wine to people, say, within a dining establishment. We're people who educate. We're people who create in-home dining experiences, working with executive chefs, doing catering end of things, doing parties, doing weddings. So it's a really great gamut of things that we get to do.
So a sommelier is a wine and beverage expert in general, and as you alluded, I mean, a lot of the time you see a sommelier in an environment like a restaurant, but we're seeing a big trend in that, moving away from restaurants and coming right to your home. Yeah,
absolutely. Home entertaining has taken a whole new term on, entertaining at home, and what they're doing is a lot of people are now contracting professionals like myself and also chefs, whether they are in a restaurant or whether they're doing catering, to bring that dining experience into more of a familiar setting, and including family or friends, or it could be business colleagues, for a great evening of casual entertaining and dining at home. And so with that, the added value to that is that they also get a bit of an educational component to it, because we get a chance to actually get those consumers to enjoy further how those meals were put together right in their table side, and then also get to do a little explanation on how beverage enhances their experience at the table side too. So it's very intimate.
It takes the work away from the person throwing the party, which is what I like about it. I mean, if you decide to have a dinner party and contract in some pros for a little bit of help, you can enjoy the experience with your guests, and then, as you suggested, there are stories that come along with bringing the pros in, both about the food and the beverages that enhance them and how they work together.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the best things that I enjoy about my career, is that I get to work with a lot of different people on different things, but doing the in-home dining experience for guests is great, because as a sommelier, not only we're providing excellent table service for the guests, but we're able to bring a bit more, and that's a bit of storytelling and a bit of the history and background of where those products came from, and talk about how that all integrates into the food and beverage pairing experience. And by the end of the evening, a lot of people go away with just an enriched feeling of more than just satisfied feeling of food and beverage, but also some great knowledge too.
Yeah, and it's an experience you can take away with you and apply to your own life, to your own home, to your own parties from that point forward.
Yeah, it's great, absolutely, and that's the great thing too, is that we're not there all the time. So after those guests have had that experience at home, you'll find a lot of times that they're actually now the center focus at their dinner table, and they're able to talk a bit more about food and beverage and why they've done what they've done for their guests, and it really adds up to a great evening at home.
When you're planning a party and considering hiring a chef or a sommelier, is there maybe a minimum or maximum number? Are you dealing with?
Yeah, well, I mean, the gamut of the event can be anywhere from 4 people right up to 400 people, depending on what it is. So, I mean, sommelier basically would be able to help with the table service out in the front area, and of course the executive chef would be handling the back of house, whether it's at a place where you just go and have an evening, or off-site. It could be at a winery, it could be anywhere. But I mean, ideally for dinner parties, I find that the best experience is anywhere from 8 to 16 people maximum, and that's really what works great.
We're getting into a fresh new season with new flavors, light fare, maybe some outdoor entertaining.
Absolutely.
Do you have some tips for choosing a good wine to go with this season?
Well, yeah, certainly. You know, first thing is to kind of pay attention to what it is that you're serving and go from there. But certainly light wines like Rieslings, both dry and off dry, work extremely well. Those are a classic go-to wine. There's Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris. There's Gewürztraminer. The one thing that I really like the best is Moscato d'Asti. It's a wonderful wine. It's got a nice light grapey feel. It's got apricot in there, and it's just lightly frizzant and a gentle sweetness to it, and it tends to work with all sorts of picnic sandwiches, to salads, to desserts. So it's probably one of those most versatile wines you're going to find out there. Leave it to the Italians to get it right every time.
So I'm hearing a lot of sort of light, floral, fruity flavors.
Yes.
Is that sort of the order of the day for spring? Well,
for spring, absolutely, yeah, and that's what you're going to get with all of those wines that I've described here this morning. That's definitely what spring's all about, and really, really refreshes the palate and excites the mind for the spring.
As far as choosing for sort of everyday enjoyment, whether you're having a party or not, do you have some favorites that you're drinking right now?
I do. I mean, one thing I always do, because I'm right in the middle of wine country, is enjoying VQA wines. There's a lot of great producers out there. I mean, I love Chardonnays and Pinot Noir as my basic favorite wines. Some of those producers out there in the bench, Flat Rock Cellars, Le Clos Jordan, Inniskillen, those producers have been consistent year in and year out for great food and beverage experiences, and their wines are second to none, and very pleased to have them.
We're very fortunate to be in the area we're in Southern Ontario, where we're so close to such a wonderful wine producing region. How does that affect your business?
It doesn't really, it just enhances it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really great. I am situated right there, so I'm able to provide support to the wineries as they require it. And then also I have people that come to me looking for investing in wineries and consultation on that kind of end of business as well. So there's a whole gamut of things that I do other than just doing food and beverage in the kitchen, but that's definitely where my heart is.
So as well as doing consultations and events privately, you also, I understand, work with the Hamilton Spectator's Go Cooking Kitchen.
Yeah, that's great. That partnership came last year in January, and I've been a part of the Go Cooking Hamilton Spectator program for a year now. I work with Karen Aquino, who's our kitchen coordinator, and they arranged to have executive chefs from the entire Golden Horseshoe area come to the kitchen, and I work closely with the executive chefs in order to pair up the menus with the proper beverages so that we get a whole food and beverage experience. And then again, the guests get a little bit of Wines 101 with that as well, and understanding how to create a great pairing and what to look for and what to watch out for. And it's a great evening for all.
Sounds great.
Yeah. If
someone wants to hire a sommelier, or you in particular, is there a way that they get a hold of you?
Yeah, there is. You can certainly go to my website. It's www.anythinggoes.ca, and that's with one G. And you can find out all my contact information there, and certainly be glad to consult on any of your special events, parties, and whatever your needs are.
Thanks so much for being with us, Rob, and we hope to see you again on the show in the future.
Thank you for having me today, Chris. It's been a pleasure.
Coming up next, we'll head out to 100 Mile Home in Burlington, Ontario for more Terra at Home.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
Welcome back to Terra at Home, where we're now at 100 Mile Home in Burlington, and I'm joined by Clive Hall. Thank you so much for being with us, Clive.
Thank you, my pleasure.
It's a thrill to be here in your beautiful showroom. You're located on Harvester Road in Burlington. Tell us a bit about 100 Mile Home.
100 Mile Home is a concept that is quite simple, I guess. It basically is that all our furniture is produced and manufactured within 100 miles of our store here in Burlington.
I imagine this is something that is really catching on. I mean, a lot of people are getting more involved in the whole buy local movement and finding things locally. How did you decide to take the business in this direction?
Well, we took a look at the economies of scale being one thing, the environment another, and actually what consumers were looking for today, which is products that address those two issues, environment and economies of scale. So having things produced locally totally made sense from a business perspective, as well as it is something that's hot with consumers these days.
So when we're looking at your product line, I see a pretty wide range of things. And when you think of, you know, sustainable and that sort of thing, wood often comes to mind, and that's a big part of your product line here, but you do fabric and upholstery as well.
We do. We've sourced a couple of fabric manufacturers, Kroller being the main one. We identified them as being very environmentally conscious. The products they use are eco-friendly. The foams, the materials, all that sort of stuff has passed government certifications, which is important to us. And they do 99% of their manufacturing locally. The only thing that is not local is one little tiny spring, which they're working on fixing. So we thought that was pretty neat.
That's not bad. As I said, you've got a really wide range here. Primarily, people, I think, would probably come in maybe having an idea of what they're looking for. Or do you get a lot of people in here that you need to sort of walk through the process?
Yeah, we get a bit of both. People come in, of course, with their dreams and their ideas.
Yes.
A lot of people don't have any ideas whatsoever as to what they want, and we can help them and direct them. What we do is we take your concepts, we put it down on paper, we'll draw it out for you, sketch it, and then draw it to scale, and design it as well to help you with some of the features, benefits, that sort of thing that you want for your item and to make it fit your space. And then we design and build it as specific to your specifications.
So what makes the furniture here different from something you would find, say, in a furniture box store?
Right. Solid wood, durability, quality, the ability to customize it, the fact that it's going to last a lifetime and beyond, so there's value in that product.
You mentioned something good there, lifetime and beyond. I mean, one of the big benefits of investing in solid wood pieces is that they really become a part of your home and almost an heirloom in the family. This is stuff that's built to last.
That's right. This is all Mennonite constructed furniture. Time-honored traditions that have been passed down from generations. That's the type of construction that we're seeing here. Again, with solid wood construction, with dovetailing, with the little things like wood drawers instead of plywood drawers. There's just so much value in the product, so much beauty in the wood itself. And also, you know, if something does happen, unfortunately, it can be repaired. Whereas with anything else, or some of the other products out there, it's pretty much damaged, then garbage, and goes into landfills, and away you go doing it all over again. So
that's a good point. I mean, solid wood furniture can be refinished again and again, and can stay with you through different trends. You can change the finishes, change the look of things over generations as it comes in and out of trend, I guess.
Absolutely. One of the services that we also do provide, we are the finisher as well as the manufacturer, and we've had customers who've had our products for over 10, 15 years and decided that they wanted to just change the color. So they brought it back to us, we sanded it down, refinished it, and away they go with a brand new looking product.
That's great. You mentioned Mennonite crafted furniture, and I think often what comes to mind when you think of Mennonite furniture is very traditional. I think of pine, but that's not really what I'm seeing when I look around the showroom here. There's a lot of really contemporary styling, a wide range of styles. So Mennonite doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means.
No, it doesn't at all. When we say Mennonite, we are basically referring to the craftsmanship and the quality that goes into the furniture. But the design of the furniture, my partner is very great at designing the furniture. So a lot of contemporary pieces, a lot of pieces that customers would want today and for the future. We really take that into consideration when designing the furniture, and you'll see that reflected in some of the styles in our showroom, as well as some of the choices of woods and finishes that we do. We may use a little bit of exotic woods in a piece, a tiger maple that will really highlight that piece, and a finish can really change it from looking from a traditional piece to a more contemporary piece as well.
True, so you can take a piece that you see on the showroom floor and perhaps decide to change some elements of it, whether it be the finish or a certain part of that, and really customize it, which is something that you can't really do in a lot of other places.
Absolutely. Again, we are offering a service here where it's truly customized, color being one of them. And our finish, we went as far as to be offering a water-based finish, which again goes in concept with our concept of being environmentally responsible and local. It's a cleaner finish, no chemicals used, but the durability and longevity is still there in the quality of the product.
So even the things that are going onto the wood itself are sustainable, really?
Even the items going into our finishes are sustainable as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I imagine you work with a lot of designers, and of course you need to be up on the trends yourself.
Yes.
Can you tell us some of the big trends in home furniture this season, as far as what to look out for?
Buffets and hutches have just gone to buffets. No longer are there hutches that sit on top. Definitely just buffets. There's a significant trend in downsizing, which means that the furniture, the scale of the furniture itself is altering. We're seeing smaller sized tables, smaller sized storage spaces in the bedroom. A bed is still the same size, but the dressers, instead of being longer and deeper, they're being shorter and taller to take advantages of smaller spaces.
So as you're dealing with more and more townhomes, condos, like you said, smaller footprints, you can sort of change the way furniture is placed in a room and the types of pieces you're putting in to maximize that storage space.
Absolutely. We are very interested and capable of helping customers to fill those little interesting nooks and crannies where they're having difficulties with, what shall I do with this space? We've come up with some pretty unique ideas in conjunction with our customers to fill those spaces quite neatly.
Fantastic. Yeah. Clive, if people want to find out more about the business and how to get in touch with you, is there a website they can visit? There
is. You can visit us at www.100milehome.ca.
Fantastic. Okay. Thanks for having us here today and for telling us about your fantastic product and what's happening on the market right now.
Thanks, my pleasure.
Coming up after the break, more of what's in fashion on TERRA at Home.
Come and explore the new TERRA, where color lives.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to the TERRA at Home kitchen, where I'm joined once again by Chef Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Chris.
I'm excited to see what this is going to turn into. What are we making today?
Today we're making pork medallions in a peppercorn cream sauce.
Sounds delicious.
Really nice dinner for having company over, something a little on the fancier side.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so we're going to sear the medallion. So I just want to start by getting this heated up. Lots of oil in there so it doesn't stick, olive oil, and we'll just get that heated. I'm using a pork tenderloin.
Okay.
So you can just buy them as a tenderloin in the store. What tenderloin probably does 2 people. So this is 1 tenderloin that I just cut into equal, you know, medallions, I call them.
So if you're feeding a crowd, you could double or triple this recipe in order to suit the number of people you're serving?
Exactly. Yeah, so 1 tenderloin for 2 people. If you're doing, you know, you're having a couple over for dinner, there's 4 people, I would get about 2 tenderloins.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll just season the pork with some salt. And then we're going to press it into a peppercorn mixture. So I have a mixture of white, black, and a couple of pink peppercorns in there that I just crushed up. So this is a little on the spicy side. You can, you know, put it to your liking. So we'll put that on the plate here, and then we'll crust our medallions. Okay.
So you just used full peppercorns and worked them in the mortar and pestle. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, though, I imagine you could maybe try and finely chop them with a knife or crush them with your knife blade, and that could work as well?
Yes, definitely chopping them with your knife would work. I find that when I do that, sometimes they go all over the place. So you have to be careful. Another trick that I learned is getting a pan, the bottom of your pan, and, you know, pushing your hand on the inside of the pan, getting the pan to crush the peppercorns on your cutting board. Okay, so that's really hot right now. We'll just turn that off for the moment.
Okay.
While we so we can use our tongs here. All right, you can also put the salt mixture in with the peppercorns there, but we want to get these nicely coated.
Very peppery then.
And we're going to serve this with a nice cream sauce. So we'll do that after we sear these.
Okay.
You can preheat your oven to about 150 or so. And then when you're done searing the medallions, just put them in there to keep warm.
Okay.
You don't want them cooking, but you just want to keep them warm while you're preparing your sauce. And then, thank you. And then put them back in the sauce when it's all simmered and reduced. And kind of just make sure that they're coated with the sauce, they're heated all the way through.
Okay.
We can go a little faster with this by putting a couple on at a time. Yeah, so like I said, you can use your hands to do this and kind of control how much pepper goes on.
Yeah.
But it is quite potent. Okay, so let's start with those.
Okay.
And we'll do the other 2 later. So I'll turn this back on. So we want this nice and high. We want to sear it on all sides. They're really small, so they won't take very long.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so when your oil starts to kind of move, you can see it moving.
Yep.
Some smoke coming up there, so I'll put these in nice and hot. Alrighty. Looking good.
Yeah.
And so
we've
this
got that
is
sizzle, that's what we want to hear.
Yes. Yeah, you definitely want your pan hot enough so it sizzles. That way it won't stick. So we get a nice browning on either side. All right, there we go. Put this to the side for now. Perfect. So for our sauce, a little bit of prep work here. We have a couple tablespoons of butter. We're going to be putting the green and pink peppercorns in the sauce.
Okay.
More so the green. The pink I like just for the color. The green are a little less strong, less potent than the black.
Right.
So when you're eating the sauce and you're eating the whole peppercorns, it's not going to be as harsh.
Yeah, a full black peppercorn in the mouth might be just a little too overpowering, I think.
Okay, so these are looking good.
Yeah.
For the sauce, so we have the peppercorns. We also have a little bit of chopped onion. You could use some shallots if you'd like, some stock, and 35% cream, which is what makes the sauce so delicious. If you're feeling a little crazy, you want to add a little alcohol into this, maybe some brandy or cognac would be really nice. Okay. To deglaze the pan. So when you pull the, basically it'll just replace the stock. When you pull these out of the pan, we'll deglaze it with the stock and get the sauce starting.
Sounds good.
So these only take a couple minutes. Like I said, we can take them out and put them in the oven, keep them warm. The pork also can be a little pink inside. So, you know, you don't need to really worry about overcooking it too much.
I think that's something that many people think that pork has to be well done, but it's not really the case. You can have it a little bit on the, I wouldn't say rare side, but maybe a bit more on the medium side is okay.
Yes, of course. Okay, great. So we'll take these out. They're looking good, and we'll get this sauce going.
Sounds great.
Alrighty.
I think the cream sauce is going to be a nice sort of balance to that spicy pepperiness of the peppercorns on the pork itself.
Yes, it'll definitely kind of tone that down a little bit.
That's good.
So this is really hot. We'll just let that sit for a second. We'll add the stock in. Okay. So you want it to be hot, but I know this is gonna kind of explode.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
And the deglazing we go.
Yeah, so that just kind of gets everything off the bottom of the pan, picks it up a bit, you know, all those good bits. So that's looking good.
Yum.
I'll add a little bit of this butter in too. Put 2 tablespoons. Now we can turn it back up a bit, swirl that around. Add the onions. Just want to sweat those, kind of gently cook them. They're really fine, so you know you won't get a lot of crunch in there. Okay, and then the peppercorns.
Okay.
Really beautiful.
And then we'll put in the cream once we're working. Perfect.
That's the next step, pour in the cream. And we'll just let it simmer for a couple minutes, just to thicken a little bit.
All right, we'll let our sauce get going in the pan, and when we come back, we'll finish everything off on the plate.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to Terra at Home, where Chef Rachel is now putting the finishing touches on our cream peppercorn sauce for our pork medallions. It looks and smells fantastic.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, well, while we had the sauce cooking, kind of reducing, it's nice and thick now, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have it too high. You don't want it boiling too much, or else it'll reduce too much. But if that's the case, just add a little bit more stock or a little bit more cream, just so you get the right consistency. So that's ready. I'm going to turn that off. Looks good. While we were doing that, we put this in the oven, just to kind of keep it warm, finish off the cooking a little bit. The medallions in the pan should take just a couple minutes aside.
Okay.
Right, so you want to just watch. If they're not quite done when you take them out of the pan, maybe you want to put the oven up a bit higher to make sure that they're cooked all the way through. Or before you cook them, you could pound them out a little thinner, so they take less time, right?
Perfect.
So a couple different options, but you just want to make sure that they're fully cooked when you're ready to serve. So we'll just serve probably about 3 or 4 per person,
Okay.
I would say. And this would be great with, you know, over a bed of mashed potatoes, or even some angel hair pasta. Really anything. Some nice fresh spring vegetables, some broccoli, cauliflower, you know, even some fresh spinach. The possibilities are endless.
Right.
Okay, and then we just want to spoon some of the sauce over top and give it a nice color contrast there. Move this out of the way here. There we go.
Fantastic.
Really nice, kind of more fancy meal for your dinner guests.
Absolutely, and like you said, the serving possibilities are endless. And of course, you at home can find this and all of Chef Rachel's recipes online at terragreenhouses.com. That's it for us for this week. Join us next week for more Terra at Home.